Hello from Covenant Life Fellowship, where Ken Porter
That's me.
is the pastor. My name is Bev Porter. Welcome to Bev's Lifeline. Today, we want to share with you how to listen for instead of listening to. And what I mean by that is when we're in conversation, there's levels of listening, right? Level one, listening is this is from a counselor's perspective.
Okay.
Can I do it?
Do it, baby.
Level one is where many people are. We just listen to what someone is saying, but in our heads, we're trying to formulate how we're going to respond. Or while someone is sharing information, we're thinking about, did I turn the stove off when I left? Or what am I going to eat for lunch? So you're not really hearing the whole story. You're not taking in all the information. That's level one. Level two is when you really are listening. You're listening to the words. You're focused on what they're saying. But there's the operative phrase. You're focused on what they're saying. That's level two. That's a good place to be. But then there's this other level, level three, listening, where you're taking in all the information, not just the words, but how they're saying it, the inflection, the intonation, what they're doing non-verbally. That's where we should be listening for information. You know what you said, but what you're doing, how you're demonstrating, how you're delivering the message, where you're stressed, where you're starting to perspire, where you're fidgeting. That's a part of the message. So you're listening for information, not listening to. So we want to unpack that, but there's a reason why we're bringing this topic up.
Yes, we're bringing this topic up because when people have conversations about what's going on in their life, it's not just what they're saying, it's also what they're not saying.
Hmm.
As a pastor, and I'm a very personable person. When I'm talking to individuals and I say, "Well, look, how you doing?" and they just give me this canned answer, you have to be able to look and see beyond the canned answer because people are crying out. People are speaking. People are asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Many times we don't hear them because all we're listening to are words.
Mm-hmm.
We have to not, as Bev said, we have to listen to the inflection of what they're saying, but what they're not saying, body language that says so much more.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying this because we're hearing over and over again too many times where people are crying out for help, committing suicide, going through some mental imbalance or area of their lives where they just don't know what to do. And they're crying out, and we don't hear them.
We don't hear them. They're feeling hopeless.
They're feeling hopeless.
So we'll give you an example. We just had a conversation with our daughter Jordan, and just right in her neighborhood, a couple of weeks ago. Uh, Not even that. There was a shooting right in her neighborhood, and it turns out that it was actually a suicide. Right.
As a suicide.
And this was a person who had a family, and clearly he um, was hopeless. And so it makes us say this with great intensity: listen for, not listen to. Listen to the whole message. This is personal for
Mm-hmm.
me because when we were about to go to college, I had two people that you saw one of us, you saw all three of us, myself and Rhonda and Valerie. And
Mm-hmm.
Rhonda and I left for college for Michigan State University. Valerie decided she didn't want to pursue an education. That's fine. She ended up getting married. And Valerie had, throughout our high school, um, had attempted suicide. We were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she was never successful. But then when we left, Rhonda and I, we were roommates in Michigan State, we left her. And she was successful in completing her end of life. And so it's for me, it's really personal. We
Mm-hmm.
were young. We didn't know how to listen for.
Right.
We were listening to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important, and just as what we want you to know, there's you got to learn how to listen for. You got to learn how to listen for versus listening to. And so, Covenant Life Fellowship, we do have a mental health and substance abuse awareness seminar. It's coming up on May 20th. from 10 to noon, and it's at our 4720 Forestville Road location in Raleigh. And so we ask you come on out and learn how to have a greater awareness of what people are going through. So when the Lord puts someone in your place, that you would in your sphere, that you would know how to listen for versus listening to.
Yes. So vitally important.
Yeah.
For all of us, because we all go through, and we've got to help each other. We've got to listen to each other. We've got to respond. And it's our business. Yes.
It is.
Hey,
this is ministry.
We need you to like it.
And we want you to share it.
Yes.
Bye for now. We love you.
Infinity.
Infinity. Bye-bye.